Hello everyone, welcome to another feature demonstration video for Gaming Gaiden. Now, the last time I released Gaming Gaiden, it was in the January of 2024, and it has been 6 months since that last released. Since then, I have worked extensively on the software, and I have added a lots of new features. A lot of them uh, things that I wanted to add. A few of them good features that a couple of users wanted to have, and a few things which I felt necessary based on the observations I made on how users were using the application. There were certain things I felt that users needed to use the application better. So combining all of these things, plus a lot of code improvements, changes, performance improvements, etc. The latest release of Gaming Gaiden is a major release. Lots of changes under the hood, lots of new features, etc. So this video is primarily going to be focused on uh, showing what are the new things that have been added, what are the new things that have been changed. If this is the first time you have come across Gaming Gaiden, then there is a list of demo videos which show the other features or the original features of Gaming Gaiden, which you can see to learn how to operate Gaming Gaiden and how to use it for your own benefit. This video is mostly going to be focused on the new feature set that has been released in the latest release. Okay, so with that, let's move forward. Now, I'll go to the releases section of the repository. The link to the repository will be available in the description of the video, so you don't have to worry about that. So this is the new release. As you can read from the release note, it's a pretty major one. What we'll do quickly is the number of changes are so massive that what we'll do quickly is we'll download the last release. Okay, so I'm going to download this gaminggaiden.zip from the last release, uh, and we'll quickly rename and extract it to show the difference, because there has been a lot of changes in the code as well. Okay, so I think people will just appreciate it a little bit better if they know how massively things have changed. So I'll quickly make a new folder. Okay, I'll take this. Okay, and we'll extract it. Just to state it again, this is the old release. Okay, so I'll delete it. Just rename the folder to old. Okay, so now let's download the latest release. Downloads, to the folder we were using. I'll just delete it. So on the left, you can see that on the left hand side, it's the new release. On the right hand side, it is the old release. So as you can see, the number of scripts itself has reduced. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There used to be 4 scripts, and now there is only a single script. Okay. Plus, in the last release, the way you used to install Gaming Gaiden was that you used to right click on the install file, and then there were instructions to run it as an administrator. It used to go ahead and set up a scheduled task for auto starting. All of that has gone away. You don't have to do any of that. No high level privileges required. None of that is necessary. Okay. So, in all, a lot of code changes have happened. Okay, so just wanted to show you the difference between the old version and the new version. New version has only one script. That's it. Old version had a lot of them. Okay, so with this, we are going to delete the old version. All right. So now, how do you start using the new release if you are an existing user of Gaming Gaiden? Okay, so you simply go to uh, the installation directory where you previously installed Gaming Gaiden. Like mine was installed right over here. I'll just quit the application because I've been using it. What you do is you keep your database, you keep your backups folder, and you delete everything else. Okay, just delete all the other files except your database and your backups folder, right? Then take the files from the new release. These are the files that we had extracted, and just you know uh, put them in the same directory. Okay, and then after that, see, previously you used to right click and run an administrator. Nothing of that sort is required right now. Just double click the install file after that and it will be installed. That is how you upgrade. If you are a brand new user, then you don't have to do anything. Just extract the files, move them to the location where you want to install it, and just run the install script. Instructions, these instructions which I am stating, are also there in the README of the GitHub repo. Okay, they are linked. So as you can see, how to install, how to upgrade, both are available. You don't have to worry about that. So I'll just double click on install. See, creating shortcuts. Would you like it to start auto start at boot? Another feedback some user gave me that we want to just press Y instead of whole yes. So there it goes. It works now. And you can just press any key to exit. Auto start has been successfully set. Right. So as you can see, a new shortcut got created. Now, one feedback that I got from users was that when we start the application, a brief PowerShell window or a command line window uh, like this flashes for a moment and then shuts down. We don't know what happens. Application doesn't start. Now, this is not a GUI application. It's a system tray application. Okay, it's quite clearly written over on the README of the application, but I can understand certain users would directly start using the application instead of reading a lot. So for those users, it was important that application gives them some visual feedback that the application has actually started, instead of a brief window flashing and then a tray icon appearing. We needed to make it a bit more obvious that the application has started. So now what happens is, after this release, when you start the application by double clicking, you will see that balloon tip will pop up. Excuse me, something went wrong here. Let me try that again. Oh, maybe because I'm recording it, the balloon tip is not showing up. Okay, all right. Apologies for that. I don't know how to fix that. But when you will run the application on your own machine, you will notice that when you double click the application, when the icon starts, there is a balloon tip that comes over here. Okay, let me see if Windows Action will show it. Yeah, as you can see right over here, this balloon tip will actually pop up with a sound, and it will become very very clear that application has started, so user will not get any confused now. Okay, running in system tray, use tray icon menu for all the operations, right? So that's one quick feedback that was implemented. Next, let's start with the features, the new features that have been added to the application, and I'll have to refer to the release notes because the number of features is quite a lot. Okay, starting with a lot of time when people play games, they don't want to look at the huge all games list. They just want to see the games that have they been playing recently. Okay, so for that, now there is a quick view feature. So instead of right clicking and going to the menu of the icon, just click on the icon once. And you can see that a quick view menu opens up, which shows your last played 5 most recent game. Finished playing, the most recent games will be shown over here. Okay, so this is the quick view feature. You can click anywhere, it will get hidden. You can click again, it will open up. Right, so that's the first new feature. Next, uh, let's move on to the improvements that have been made in the all games list. So if we click on all games now, uh, one new feature that has been added is that now the sessions or the number of times you have started the games is being recorded. Okay, so as you can see, for Halo the Master Chief Collection, I have 17 session for something like very very small 1943. This is an arcade game, shoot 'em up. I just finished it in 2 sessions. I played Crawl for approximately 3.5 hours over the course of 6 sessions. So now, number of sessions that you have played a game is also being tracked. Another new feature that has been added is that you see these blue bars in the playtime column. These are actually a quick way to see how much time you have spent in a game compared to your most played game. So if we quickly sort the games by playtime, if I just click on the playtime column, it will do an ascending sort and it will bring the most played game on the top. Okay, one more click. Yeah. So as you can see, my most played game is Borderland 3, and for that, this bar is completely full, which was for 112 hours. Next most played is Horizon Zero Dawn, for which the bar is 66 hour 44 minutes, so approximately a little bit more than half of Borderland 3. So how is this useful? Default sort when you open the all games list. If I close it and open it again, default games list is sorted by your most recent games. It's sorted by the date column. Okay. For even if I do show all, you can see all the dates are from 2024. So what this bar helps you do is just you get a feel of how much time you have spent in a game compared to other games. Like for example, I have spent barely any time in the arcade shoot 'em up. Even Crawl, which I have played for 3.5 hours, is a very small size compared to other games. Brutal Legend, I have played a lot. Mario Tennis Aces is a lot, so on and so forth. Resident Evil 2. See, at a glance, you can say that you have played this game a lot compared to the other games that you have played. So this is the second new feature. Okay. Uh, Other than that, I guess there are not many additions to the all games list. I have improved the search a little bit, so you can pretty much search on anything on all the columns now. So if I just say May, you will see all the games that you have played in May of 2024, May of 2023, so on and so forth. Right. So I have extended the search to all the other columns as well, right? Little bit UI improvements, layout. You will find that layout is a little bit better, spread on the screen. Column sizes have been tweaked a little bit. And so on. Yeah, another improvement, the icons. Okay, the game icons resolution has been increased. The last size was quite small. Now they are of the size 140 by 140. So this is a plugin in my browser called Images. It shows the full size of the image when you hover over the image. So you can see that they are a bit more detailed. Okay, the resolution is a little bit better. So this is a new addition to the all games list. Okay, let's clear the search. I guess that's all on the all games list. Yeah, I don't think there is anything else. Just a little bit improvement in layout. Sessions is a new feature. Yep, and the bar. Okay, so let's move on. Next, we have bunch of new graphs in the statistics. Okay, so if I go to statistic, you will find there is a new option called lifetime summary. So if I click on lifetime summary, it's a very fancy graph. You see each of these points is a game that you have played. At the top, it kind of gives you the entire view of your entire gaming history until this point, since the time you have started using this application. Okay, so if I read the sentence from January 2021 to June 2024, I have played 96 games in 1800 sessions, and my total play time is approximately 1100 hours, and approximately 5 hours spent idling. Now, ideal time tracking is a new feature that I have added. That was also something that users wanted it to have. So yeah, now it is there. Okay, it shows how many games you are currently playing, and if you know, this will match the all games. Right, you are playing 3 games in progress. 93 games are finished, and this is a scatter chart. Uh, it's very useful to see things at a glance, right? If you see, most of the games that I play are less than 30 hours to complete. Okay, even a larger number of those are less than 20 hours. Okay, and maximum or 20 sessions, I would say. My apologies, not hours, sessions. Mostly I tend to finish games within 30 sessions. Very rarely games go above 30 sessions. Okay, very few games have gone between 50 to 60, and probably there is only one game where I have played it more than 80 times, and I think it is going to be Horizon Zero Dawn, right? So even though Borderlands is my most played game, uh, I actually spent longer hours in this game, longer sessions in this game, because within under 60 sessions, I played for approximately 112 hours. Whereas for Horizon Zero Dawn, I used to prefer, short gaming windows. Okay. I have had over 88 sessions or 89 sessions, and still it only totaled to 67. Right. And, most of the games, again, are less than 32 hours. I have never played very few games, that only four games I have played which are above 32 hours of playtime. Most games are less than 32, and even more games, even a larger section of those 32 are less than 16 hours. Right. So it's a very interesting graph, and if you want to see, which are the unique games where you have played a lot of sessions or where you have spent a lot of time, you can just hover over the point and it will tell you. Like, this is Killzone. This happened because PCSX2 were crashing a lot. Those 78 sessions are not organic. PCSX2 was kept on crashing again and again and again and again. Okay, anyway, that's why 78 sessions in only 8 hours. Yeah. God of War 2018, 57 sessions over 44 hours approximately. So this is a brand new feature. Okay, let's move on. Next is time spent gaming. This is one of the existing features. The new thing in this feature is that now the weekends are highlighted in red. So this tells you if you have been doing or spending more time gaming on weekend or weekdays. Like on 12th, I guess it was a Sunday, I spent 6 hours gaming in May. Another weekend was very, very low. So yeah, a little bit of cool insights, right? If you see Saturdays, I don't play a lot on Saturdays. On 25th, it was zero point 0.1 hour. Yeah, right. Some of my weekdays have been, I have spent a lot of time gaming. So a simple new feature where you can see weekends distinctly from your weekdays, right? Okay, moving on. What else is there? Games per platform. This is one of the old statistics graph. Nothing new over here. Just that when you hover, it tells you the name of the platform where you have been playing these games. 8 games in PlayStation 2, 71 on PC. Uh, I have selected a new set of colors. Because the number of platforms had grown to like 11 or 12, and the default colors in the charts library were repeating, so I went ahead and made some unique selection of 20 colors. Okay. Next, most played games. This is also pretty much similar like last time. The only new addition, as was the case of the monthly and yearly statistics, uh, we now have a clear number over each bar. Like, it tells you exactly the number of hours. So on 12th, 5.9 hours. Right? Easy to read the data. Similarly, that is also available in the most played game. So Borderlands 3, you can always refer from the lower axis, like it is more than 110, but the number is written now directly on the bar. So you can read it very, very easily. Right? This label is probably also in. Another small thing that you will notice in from the older version is that now the graphs are very nicely centered. This was very, very challenging to do because there was no way for graphs to move to left. A lot of trouble with CSS and everything, but I managed to do it somewhere. There is a clever hack. I'm not going to share it on screen, but I managed to center it. So yeah, graphs are centered. That's another feature that has been done this time. Cool. Moving on. Yeah, the new feature where idle time is tracked and deducted from the playtime. A lot of users asked for this, and now it is available. The important thing to know over here, and I'll click on that graph in a moment, is that you have to decide on what is the threshold at which point you will make a decision. Okay, this was actually an idle time, right? Now, sometimes in video games, what happens is you watch a cutscene. Like in some games, cutscenes can be very, very long, uh, and you can't say that the PC was idle. Maybe the user was just watching a cutscene in the game. So there has to be a balance between deciding whether the user is actually away from the keyboard or gamepad, is actually AFK, or they are just watching a cutscene in the game. Uh, so the way the idle time detection works in gaming Gaiden is it basically tracks your input. If it doesn't receive any input in certain amount of time, it assumes that you are AFK, and it will start tracking that period of time as idle. Now, as I mentioned, that we have to balance it with watching cutscenes and not giving any inputs in gaming. So what I've done is I have decided the threshold to be somewhere around 5 minutes. I have played games where there are cutscenes which come very, very close to 5 minutes, and but mostly games do not have that long of cutscene. 1 minute cutscenes, 2 minute cutscenes are more of the norm. So going above 5 minutes would have given the wrong statistics. Like it would have not detected that you are idle even when you were an idle. So what it does is it tracks idle time in chunks of five. Like if you're away for more than 5 minutes, it will decide that yes, the user is AFK, because it expects that if you are playing a game, you would at least give some input within the last 5 minutes. And input detection works for both gamepad and keyboard and mouse. Okay, so any input is considered as valid, and if you give any input, it will not track you as idle. Okay, so now once it has detected an idle time, it will deduct the idle time from your play time. So if you have been playing a game and you left the game paused, or you left your PC for some time and went away for more than 5 minutes, it will detect that you have been idle for 5 minutes, and it will deduct that when recording your playtime for that session. What it also does, and from where this chart comes, is it also tracks idle time for each game independently. So how much time you have spent idling a particular game. Maybe you took a lot of breaks during a game, which maybe tells you that you were not enjoying that game to that degree. Okay, so let's look at idle time. Right. So when I was playing Bomber Crew, I used to take a lot of breaks. So overall, during Bomber Crew, left the PC idling for 3 hours. Brutal Legend also approximately 1 hours. Resident Evil 2 captured the most attention, and I barely left it idle for half an hour. And if you remember, for Resident Evil 2, our total play time was approximately 25 hours. Right. So a cool little stat, that how much time you spent left a game idle. Right. So that's the next statistics. Uh, let's move on. Last one is PC versus emulation time. Small, simple thing: how much time you spend emulating games versus how much time you spend playing games on PC. Okay, so yeah, this is PC versus emulation is a new feature. Idle time is a new feature. Lifetime summary is a new feature. The rest were here. We just added a little bit of improvement. Okay, so these are all the new graphs. Okay, I'll just close these. And we'll go back. Okay, what next? Another improvement. So these are all the new features. Other features that have been added are actually in the uh, settings function. So here, if you see, there are two buttons now. There used to be a button called update icon, which will allow you to select a new image. Now there is also a button called search. Okay, and what this button does is it allows you to search for the cover art or the box art of the game very quickly. Okay, so if I enter a game, let's say control, and if I press search, it should Google search control, and it should show you some images from which you can download and save. And let me try if I can save. So I can save it, and then you can update. Another feature is that now when you click on update button, it directly opens your downloads folder. A little optimization for user to be able to quickly select the image they just download. Right? Cool. So yeah, so this Google search is another new feature that has been added. And another thing that you will notice is the resolution of the image has increased. Okay, older version had very small images. New version keeps full resolution, or 140 by 140 resolution of the image, so it looks a little bit better. All right, I'll cancel the, because we are not really adding the game, just a demonstration. Cool. Next, another feature that has been added is, earlier what used to happen is when you wanted to edit a game, it used to do that in two steps. In one step, it will open the list of the games, then you will select a game, and then it will press OK. Then it will take you to a new dialog box where you will edit the game, save it, and then it will close the dialog. And let's say you want to edit another game, a second game, you will again have to come right click on the icon. You again have to click on edit game, again a list game. So the whole process was very cumbersome, I would say. So now what we have done is updated the edit game function to just click on it, and that list of games is rendered right in a single dialog box. It's right here. Okay, and you can select any game over here. The left hand side instantly updates. Okay, and you can just edit it. So when you edit any game, so let me just add 1 minute to this Batman video game. I'll just add 1 hour 50 minutes instead of 49. Press OK. It will say updated, and you are right here. You can just go and edit another one, right? So it has improved a lot. The search function works exactly like it worked last time. So we have Akane. If I click on search, it will open a new tab in your browser, and you can download an image. Okay, it's a Google image search. All right. Another update in the edit game is you can now change the name of the game. Earlier, this was not allowed to be edited. Now it is free to be edited. You can edit it anytime you want. Right? The search functionality is originally from the last version also. Nothing new, just that it has been brought in into the dialog box of edit game, integrated in the primary dialog of the edit game. Okay, so you can search games. Clear it. I'll cancel it quickly. Exactly the similar feature has been added in Edit Emulator also. So again, similarly, it used to work the same way. List used to get rendered, then you press OK, then you come to the edit platform form. Now that list is integrated with the edit dialog box. Search is also integrated with the edit dialog box. You can edit it as you like. Now, another new update, which I'll tell right away, is that earlier you can only have one executable for a platform. So for PlayStation 2, I use PCSX2 to emulate it. So you only can have only one executable. Now this caused an issue where, let's say you are emulating Nintendo Switch, and for certain games Ryujinx works better, for certain game Yuzu works better, and you use both of them interchangeably. The problem was that if you registered Ryujinx, all the games that were being tracked by Yuzu will stop tracking. Okay, so now in this new release version, you can have multiple executables for a single platform. So for example, in Nintendo Switch, if you see, I have both yuzu.exe comma ryujinx.exe registered, right? So now you can use either one of them, and both all the games played on either emulator will be tracked correctly. This is also a new feature. Platform name again was not editable in the last version. Now it can be edited, right? All right, so I guess those were the most salient features. Yeah, a few other performance improvements and such are there, As an example, I'll just minimize everything. I'll close Gaming Gaiden. And just to show you that the balloon tip actually works, what we'll do is we'll clear all the notifications. Okay. And if when I launch Gaming Gaiden, you will see that a new notification would appear. Okay. But the point that I wanted to show you was that earlier, uh, the database setup used to be run as a separate script, and that used to cause a lot of delay in the application launch. It used to take a little bit extra time to start. Now, as you saw earlier, that all the scripts have been removed and there is only a single script. This has made the application start really, really fast. Okay, so if you notice, a brief taskbar window, taskbar icon may flash over here, uh, but it will start very, very quickly compared to the, you see, last version, and it has already started. It would not have started this fast in the previous version. Okay, so the startup has improved as a performance improvement. Let's look at the action center, and as you can see, there is a balloon tip. This will pop up on the desktop also. I guess it is not happening because I'm doing the screen recording using ShareX. Okay, so application startup is fast. Another thing that is really fast is earlier this edit game, all of these used to be separate script and they were also slow. Now they are almost instantaneous. Okay, so if I, it didn't used to be this fast. It's like immediately there. So this is also a performance improvement that has been done, right? And this is true for all the functions. Okay. I guess that's it. Let's look at what are the other things. So we covered quick view, we covered idle time tracking, number of sessions, Google search, we covered the bar graph in playtime column, multiple emulator, data access and label. We covered these three charts, faster startup. Yeah, there is also, yeah, one more point that the all games rendering is also fast actually. Okay, a lot of things have been done behind the scenes, like all these images that you see for games, these are now cached and they are not repeatedly recreated every time you render the all games list. Okay, so yeah, just minor improvement. Plus, uh, in the earlier version, when you used to click all games, there used to be a slight flicker. First, the table will load; it will be partially broken, and then everything will fit into the place. Now, it's very, very smooth. Okay, the complete page gets rendered in one shot. Okay, so it's a very good visual experience compared to the way it was in the last version. So a new improvement in that regard. Okay, what next? Yeah, faster rendering. uh, yeah, PNG and JPG game icon images are now each processed uniquely. Like when you click on the search button and you go to the Google image search, sometimes you will get a JPG image, other times you will get a PNG image. Both are supported, right? But earlier in the last version, what used to happen was every image was treated as a PNG image. What that used to cause is it used to take a lot of storage space even when it was not necessary. Like JPG image will be less than 10 KB most of the time. PNG image will be approximately close to 200 KB. The same image, by the way. So what now we have done is we process each image uniquely. JPG is processed in JPG's manner. PNG is processed in PNG's manner. What it allows us to do is faster processing, plus JPG images don't take extra storage. If you process JPG like a PNG image, they'll end up taking the same amount of space as a PNG image takes. So a 4 or 5 KB JPG image will become a 200 KB JPG image. Okay, so with this improvement now, the images are correctly processed. JPG is processed in JPG style, PNG is processed in PNG style. So that's another hidden improvement that is not really visible, but it has been done in the background. Okay. Quality of life improvements. So we talked about balloon notification. We talked about improved edit game. We talked about improved edit emulator also. Game names and emulator platform names are now editable. Weekends are now highlighted. Resolution has been increased. Both PNG and JPG images can now be selected at same time. Yeah, this is a good one. So what used to happen earlier is that when you used to go to, let's say, edit a game and you click on update, earlier there used to be a separate dialog box for PNG and JPG. So at in the beginning it will only show PNG images. Then if you have downloaded a JPG, you had to go here and select JPG, and then your JPG image was visible. Now PNG and JPG, both supported formats, are directly visible. Okay, it's just a small, quality of life improvement. It just makes the feel of the software a bit more polished. You can immediately select the image that you want to select. Right? So that's one. Right. Download folder opens by default. So when you save an image, it goes to your downloads folder. So when you click on update, it's directly right there in front of you. You don't have to go browsing to your download folder and then select it. Except both, this was another user feedback that when you ask us a question, we just write Y instead of yes and press enter, and your script doesn't handles it. So now the script handles both Y and yes. Lots of UI alignment and color fixes. Already talked about that. These are very very hidden under the hood stuff. Earlier there used to be exceptions when multiple threads used to write a log. So now the logs are thread safe. Those exceptions don't happen anymore. Huge amount of code formatting has happened. A lot of minute bug fixes and all. So yeah, overall, major release. So for those of you who have been using this software before this release, I highly recommend you upgrade it. For those of you who are the first time users of this software, I hope this is useful to you, makes your gaming a little bit better, a little more enjoyable. So yeah, and please, 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 I kindly request you to don't skip reading the instructions. They are very simple and straightforward instructions. You will save everybody a lot of time if you just read it and follow it. Okay, so if you are a new user, read how to install, follow it, and you will be able to use the software well. And if you are a existing user, please read how to upgrade from existing installation and then follow, you know the instructions. Okay, uh, I guess that's all. Thanks folks.